You know, Sterling, there's nothing like being behind the scenes and in a conversation like we're having now
Right.
that not only will make a difference for entrepreneurs, not only will help small business owners, but more importantly, will help them reach their target audience so they have more meaning in the world and also have more impact in the world. Before I read this bio, because what you do is like critical to every business owner. Before
Right.
I read this bio, will you take a moment and tell us a little bit about who you are, because the world doesn't know who you are, and
Right.
what you're up to these days, my good friend.
Yeah, well, like you said, my name is Sterling McKinley, and I say that I'm a digital marketing specialist and branding consultant. And really, today, what I'm doing now is just teaching. So, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, so all those things. So, I just really love digital marketing, online marketing, and really, I just teach. Right now, I'm doing some work with the Department of Defense, doing teaching. I'm starting another contract next week. At a local university doing teaching as well, digital marketing. So really now just teaching and just sharing. And the funny thing is everybody out here claims to be a digital marketing guru or expert, but that's really not the case. So, my approach is, digital marketing, online marketing can be this very scary thing, can be complex. But my thing is taking that terms, taking those things and making it every day, making them relatable. So taking some of that fear out of digital marketing, letting people know that it's just not for Facebook. It's just not for Nike or Amazon that you too, the small business owners, you can have the same power they have if you learn how to use digital marketing to grow your company.
You know, I love that. And for those folks that are tuning in, they're just meeting you for the first time, they might be curious what this conversation is going to be about.
Right.
Take a moment and let us know what they can expect during this particular episode.
Right. It's all about branding. And it's funny. I got labeled as a digital marketing expert or speaker years ago. And while I like that, the last year or so I'm pulling back because it's really about branding. It's about your brand first. And as a company, if you build a strong brand, if you understand your customer, then that lets you know what you have to do on social media. It tells you what products you should have on your website. It tells you what you should have for your customers. So really, I think the brand is really a key point because that brand is your guiding light. It's going to tell you what you need to do for your company. And, people always ask me, what should I post on social media? What should I see or do online? But once again, I think the best brand is all about getting to know your customer. And once you know that your customer, just giving them what they want. It sounds really easy, but a lot of people just don't make that connection. I say if you're in business, you're not doing a hobby. It's not about your likes and your wants. It's about having a product, having a service that your customers want.
Yeah. And what are you saying to your clients, even yourself, when they go over to sterlingmckinley.com, they'll see that you're someone who's traveled. You're typically have been
Yeah.
speaking on stages. You've been helping at companies and
Right.
organizations. And not to make light of where we are right now, because these are
Yeah.
very challenging times.
Right.
I've lost family to this crisis that we're going through right now. My staff members, families have been impacted, as yours is, I'm sure. But my question is, how did you pivot during this time, since stages
Yeah.
are no longer there? And
Yeah.
number two, what type of conversation are you having with your
Right.
clients who have to pivot now as well?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, everybody's being affected. I mean, I lost my father a month ago. It's been tough. I mean, it really is. It's tough. Business now, life is tough. But it's funny. What I'm saying now, I've been saying for years and for months. So I've had some clients for years who are saying social media and apps and being on Instagram and being in tune with your customer, what you need to do. So now I kind of feel like a prophet in a sense. I didn't know if this was going to come this way, but I knew a day was going to come where more attention, more need was going to be placed online. And I think for companies, it's just waking up. For years, social media and websites have been around, and a lot of business owners have really kind of gone to sleep, have passed on it. But to be relevant going forward, you have to embrace digital marketing. You have to embrace social media. You really don't have a choice. So I feel like right now, this is a turning point. And I just actually released a book called Binge Branding, and it's all about a new era in branding. That the days of being a slow, unresponsive brand, a brand that's not on social media, that has a crappy website, those days are done. Now as we enter a recession, hope is short, but people are going to hold on to their dollars. Your customers are only going to go to the companies that really cater to them. So once again, brands that are unresponsive, brands that are doing that mass marketing, it's not going to work anymore. Now even more, you have to create that personal connection with your customers. I think about companies like Amazon. Amazon's still making money in this economy. Companies like Netflix, companies like Netflix, Amazon, and Starbucks. Once again, companies that have strong branding. Companies that are diverse. You can go Starbucks in the store. You can get the drive-through. Amazon, Netflix. These are all forward-thinking companies. So, like I said before, it's just not for the big companies. The small business owner can use the same tools, the same technology to really reach out and engage their customers. And like I say now that our cell phones are spoiling your customers right now. Your customers are increasingly narcissistic. It's all about them because they have a phone that's about them, the text, the email, the video, the picture. So now your brand has to be all about your customers because your customers are expecting that. They want to be catered to as an individual, not as a mass marketing, as a mass group. So I'd say this is a new economy. The days of being that old brand, those days are over. Your brand has to be active. It has to be up on technology. And most importantly, it just has to be relatable to your customers.
Oh, man, I'm loving it, man. Hey, first of all, man, our condolences to you and your family on your father passing last month, number one. Number two, thanks for being in the game and being here. That means so much. And number three, man, we got a show. We got to get going. We got a show. So for Danny that's out there right now, Keston DaCosta that's out there right now, Tahana, what's up, Tahana? Thanks for being in the house. Calvin, I see you. We're going to get going in 5. We're going to learn about brand marketing. 4, 3. You got to hear about binge-worthy branding. That's his new book, by the way. 2, 1. I'm like, Shay, we got to go. We got a show. We'll be back. See you. I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always like to share the 3 visions that I believe that you have. I believe you first have a vision for yourself. The food that you want to eat, organic, of course, natural, I'm sure. The car that you want to drive, or even the clothes you want to wear, it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. I believe you have a second vision. You have a vision for your loved ones. And just yesterday, we had an opportunity for the first time in a while to go visit Mother Dear. Had our mask on, yes. Dropped off some food, yes. Walked in the house, yes. Spent a little time with Mother Dear. And for some of you out there, you want to write a check for someone's health care insurance. You want to make sure you can support someone's mortgage right now. Some of you support your community, and your dollars go a long way. And it takes resources to support your loved ones, which means it takes revenue. And I believe there's a third vision that you have. I believe that you have a vision right now for the people you were called to serve. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're Noah. And whether you're a believer or not, you'll be able to relate to this, but imagine you're Noah, and Noah's been given this vision from God, right? He has the expertise, he has the experience, he's ready to rock and roll, and he shows up ready to go to work. Excuse me, Noah, before you get going, we have a report. There is no hammer in the house. We can't find a hammer anywhere. Cool. We gonna still do this thing, y'all. No worries. Noah, excuse me, Noah. Wait. Report number 2: there are no nails, no hammer, no nails. Got it. Man says no hammer, no nails. That doesn't stop us. We're gonna do this anyway. We're gonna find a way. Noah, excuse me. One last report, Noah. One last report. There's no wood and there's no team. Good luck with this mission. That might be you right now. You've got your purpose. You've got your passion. You even know what you want to do, but there's no customers. No one knows who you are. Well, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, Sterling is bringing to you one thing and one thing only, and that is he's bringing to you the resources for you to market, for you to brand, and reach your target audience. So with that being said, let me say hello to the one and only Sterling McKinley. What's up, my man?
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Well, I'm always going to have a good brother from Morgan State University. Got to do a shout out to all the Morgan State Bears. I don't know who's out there listening, but I give a shout out every time I possibly can. Right. Sterling's in the house. And Sterling, you've got a big order here because you said brand marketing. And some people are thinking, I'm going to throw up if someone says brand marketing again. So slow down for a moment, man. Give us, what's your definition of branding? Because who knows what it is anymore? Everybody's got a logo, I think.
Yeah.
And number 2, what is marketing from your view of the world?
Right. Yeah, well, branding is not a logo. It's not a slogan. It's more than that. Branding is an idea. It's how your customer views your business. So your brand is this encompasses mind. And a brand is made up of experience with your company. It's made up from your logo and commercials and every interaction with your company. That is your brand right there. So your brand is so important because that's your guiding light. It's telling you what to do. And I feel that marketing is an extension of that branding. So once you have the brand defined, then the marketing what you do, whether that's social media, whether that's print, radio, TV. So once again, I think it goes back to having a brand, because when you have a brand, then I believe the pathway, for it becomes clearer.
So what do we say right now? Person sitting there saying, okay, I'm tuned in. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. I'm a coach. I'm a trainer. I'm a network marketing.
Yeah.
What is one idea that you could share right now that says, you know what? Here's an idea around marketing and how it's helped other businesses, which may help you as well.
Yeah. There's an old quote that says, in order to expand your reach, your territory, narrow your focus. And that's what I've done in the last 2 years now. And I've experienced amazing growth. I was that person that's trying to get everything, plan for every event, taking on every customer. Once I settled on the things I did well and I focused on that, things took off. So once again, if you're chasing too many things sometimes, that can be a bad thing. So even in social media, some clients want to be on every network every day, but I say find the 2 or 3 networks that work for you and be in those networks. Be a master of one or a few things, but not master of many. So that's one thing that really helped me. I focused on what my talent was, what I did the best, and that was speaking. So I still design websites. I still do that kind of stuff, but very rarely. Most now it's speaking and teaching and, really finding out what makes you unique. Going back to what is your value proposition? What makes you different? You can't be like the other person, the other speaker. Matter of fact, all of my suits now are like this. They're pinstripe.
I know, man. I'm kind of jealous, man. I mean, can I get a pinstripe suit going on, man? Because it looks so good. For folks out there right now, he got his suit on, y'all. He got his window pane suit on. I feel like I should put a tie on a suit or something. You wrote the book, Binge Worthy Branding. For Dr. Pam Love Manning, who's also a fellow Morganite, by the way. There's so many fellow Morganites that are watching right now. Take a moment and tell us who's the book for, and what is the mission of the book? Binge Worthy Branding.
Yeah, the book is for entrepreneurs, small business owners. It's for CEOs. It's for anybody that wants to understand branding. And the book is really kind of a call to action, a wake-up call. I believe for so long, branding has been done the wrong way. People are so mass marketing. People are just pushing out emails. People are spamming, but those things are done. So your brand has to change now. And the book is all about how you can use AI and personalization to build customer loyalty, to make a brand that's binge-worthy. And I named it binge-worthy because I think about things like Netflix. You watch a show on Netflix and you plan to watch 1 episode. Then what happens? You watch 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes. Then the next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Your brand has to be that way. It has to be so in tune with what your customers want. then when they come to you, they come back again and again. So it's about being binge worthy. And also think about, Starbucks, think about Amazon. These are companies that have a strong loyalty customer base. Why? Because they're in tune with what the customers want, and they make it easy to business with them, and they come back to them again and again. So your company has to be the same way. It has to build for your customers and pull them back again and again.
Yeah. For William that's out there watching right now, William Thomas, Rakisha Pittman that's tuned in right now that are listening and saying, okay, can you draw the connection?
Right.
We're going to get into branding, between branding and this whole digital marketing, this whole online concept. Can you paint the picture and bring the bridge together? Because a number of folks are saying, hey, that sounds cool, but I've got to now do this digital thing, or I may not have a business. I mean, that's just the reality. It's not for everybody, but for some folks. So draw the connection early on. First, branding to digital marketing, and then we'll come back and talk about marketing.
Yeah. Branding is everything, and especially digital now, because everything is digital. So like you just said, if you're in business, you don't have a choice. Your brand has to be digital. And, if you have a strong offline brand, it's actually pretty easy to translate that to bring online. So it's so important because, like our phones, our tablets, everything, is digital. And now in the world that we're all closed in this pandemic, digital is so important. Where would we be without Instagram or Facebook or email? This is how the world runs. So as a company, you can't be stagnant anymore. You can't resist this new change in this technology. You have to embrace it because that's the way the world's going right now. People want to know that you're available on their phone, that you have an app, that you're, up to date. So really, if you're in business, you have no choice. I don't want to be harsh, but if you don't innovate, you'll die. Look at companies like Blockbuster or companies like Toys R Us, companies that used to be huge, but guess what they didn't do? They didn't grow with their customers. They didn't grow with technology, and now they're gone. So in this new economy, it's so important that you stay up to date with technology and that you stay up to date with your customers.
Okay. And for some folks listening in, when you talk about branding, it may be a little unfamiliar to the concept of using AI and personification. They may be kind of new to that, okay?
Right.
AI stands for automation. Is that right? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
So slow down for a moment,
Right.
and then talk about. It's on the cover of his book. His book is called Binge Worthy Branding, by the way. Build customer loyalty using AI. Okay, and that's just one of the things. So I want him to. He's talked about branding, but now I want him to wrap in this whole marketing piece and having to do it using artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So AI can be a scary term when you hear it. People think about the Terminator, think about the Matrix, end of days, and AI is not this scary thing. It's not going to take over the world. We're not going to be living in caves. It is new, it is technology, but we're using AI every day. If you use AI on Google Maps, on your email, if you use Grammarly or anything, everything is built in with AI. And all AI is really, simply put, is a computer program that's helping you make decisions. So once again, you put in an address on Google Maps, it tells you how to get there. That's AI-powered software. So when I say AI, I'm talking more about AI-powered software. So right now in business, there's so many variables about your customers. It's their purchase history, where they live, and what they like to do. And it's becoming harder and harder for business owners to make sense of these thousands of customers. But what AI-powered software is doing is allowing us at scale and at a low cost to be able to identify our customers and be able to speak to them in a one-on-one. I'll give you a good example. You think about Netflix. Netflix has millions and millions of homepages. My Netflix homepage and your homepage of Netflix are totally different. They're based on my past viewing behavior. So your company has to be the same way. So your website should be different for me or for you. It should change like that. It has to be personal to the person. And that's what I mean by AI-powered software. AI-powered software is helping you make sense of all the data you have on your customers, so you can speak to them like an individual person, not as a mass group.
So for those folks that are out there, peel the onion a little further. You got Deborah Gardner. What's going on, Deborah Gardner, our good friend out there in Phoenix, Arizona, one of the baddest speakers on the planet. Dr. Talisha, thanks for joining out there in Dallas. And so many of all of you out there. Anisha, what's going on in Las Vegas? I mean, we'd be here all day, but I want to recognize so many of you because this topic, binge-worthy branding and marketing, is very sensitive, as we talked about in the green room right now. So give us a little example of using AI, which is artificial intelligence, when someone is first visiting someone's website, right? Because now they have an opportunity to have a conversation with someone on the other side, whether they're there or it can be a live bot, I guess, a person there. Talk about that, because what I'm seeing is a number of folks are not utilizing that. And it's just a huge opportunity miss. So take a moment and break that thing down, please.
Yeah, well, a simple one is using a chatbot. So chatbots are on Facebook. They can be integrated into your website. So once again, when somebody comes to your website, you have that one chance to grab their attention. If they come to your website and you're not there, or they call you and your line's busy, they go to leave. So when somebody comes to your website, you want to get that information. So you can do that by using a chatbot, something that's going to ask them a few basic questions and then say, hey, we'll call you back. So there's plenty of things you can do. There's different software out there where you can see what your customers are looking at, and then it can tell you what products or what services, what pages are not working and how to place those. It can be something simple as Google Analytics that tells you what web page is getting the most traffic. Now, this page is getting a lot of traffic, this page is getting little traffic, then the page that's getting a lot of traffic, you put the traffic first. So it's just really just telling you what to do, and it's breaking down, what's going on in your website and telling you what to do next. So it can take so many forms, and it really depends, what are you trying to do with your business? There's a solution for email, there's one for your website, there's one for video, social media. It really depends, what are you trying to do? And once again, AI powered software just gets behind the scenes. It's able to, track what your customers are saying and doing, and then it helps you recommend products and services to them that make more sense.
That makes more sense. For those folks that are meeting you for the very first time, take a moment and give them a little bit of the backstory, a little bit of how you got to doing what you're doing now. And for those folks out there, you're listening to the one and only Sterling McKinley, who's here right now. You can find him over at www.sterlingmckinley.com. Again, www.sterlingmckinley.com, by the way. And he's gracing us with his presence today. So take a moment, just real quickly, give him a little bit of the backstory of who you are and where you are right now. Take it away.
Yes, it's a long story.
Well, we don't have a long night, man, or long morning, or a long afternoon.
Back in 2000, when I started school at Morgan State University, this was kind of right after the dot-com burst.
You got to say a little slower. When you did school at Morgan State University. I always give a shout out to Morgan State. I know I do this every time. People say, Shay, you always stop people. Morgan State University. That's my alma mater, by the way. It's my alma mater. Okay, keep on going. Sorry, I won't interrupt you.
Right. But while I was at school there, this was during the dot-com bust, where there was a lot of dot-com companies that went out of business. And a lot of people were saying this internet thing is here to stay. And I said, yeah, this thing is going to be the future. So while I was in school, I taught myself how to do basic website design. 1 semester break, I locked myself in my dorm room for about 3 or 4 days. I got a book, Website for Dummies, actually, and built my first website. Now, it was terrible, but I was really proud because I finally did it. So from there, I actually started my own business right in college, designed websites for friends of the family, for churches, nonprofits, and things like that. Once I graduated in 2005, I got a job doing radio sales at iHeartRadio. It was a great job, and doing that job, I had an opportunity to speak to so many small business owners, and I was just finding that so many of them didn't have websites. So to me, it was a natural fit. So after about 8 months, I left that job and started my company full time, designing websites. Did that for a number of years. Fast forward a few years, my business was kind of stagnant. It wasn't growing because everybody designed sites. Nothing about me was special. And then one day, a friend called me, and he said that he was giving a speech at Howard University, and he couldn't make it. And he asked me if I wanted to step in and speak for him. Now, this time, I had never spoken before. I was terrified of speaking, but I decided to do it. And it went great. It was one of the best experiences of my life at that time. And I left the stage saying, like, wow, I have to do more of this. So since then, it's been a long road on me speaking, for free, speaking on stages across country, the world. And, when I started out speaking to nobody, one audience member, to now thousands, But once again, once I found out what I really loved, that's what it was. And my whole approach to marketing, digital and business is being simple, being relatable, being practical. So taking these complex topics that are scary to people and then relating them in relatable ways. So that's what I'm doing now still. So now I've kind of transitioned into more of a teaching now. So I'm teaching at different schools and universities about digital marketing. So that's kind of my evolution. And now I'm an author as well. So just now I'm in the phase of just teaching and helping people understand that, because once again, this is really one of the most important topics in the world right now is digital. So helping people, bridge that digital gap, is kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I love it, man. The name of this book is called Binge-Worthy Branding. Binge-Worthy Branding. I'm going to ask him right now to share one idea of that book that he teaches that he can share with you. And for those folks that are watching right now, do me a favor. This may not be for you, and I understand it, but it's for someone else. And I want you to pay this message forward. You have my permission. I'm sure Sterling's permission. You can hit the share button right now. You can hit the watch party button right now. When you hit that button, go ahead and write those words, binge-worthy branding, hashtag Sterling McKinley. Just put binge-worthy branding, hashtag Sterling McKinley. Now, if you're an entrepreneur right now and being online, like this is your jam now. Like you're like, Shay, I got to do this. Or I got to crack the code. Then Sterling's the guy, man. Take a moment, if you would, and give us one idea, give us a scenario or a case study out of the book that you can share with us. The book's not out yet, everyone, but you can pre-order it, and he's going to tell you how to do that in a minute. But first, give us one case study out of it.
Right. Well, I'll give you one, but in the book, I have 3 kind of main case studies.
Okay.
One about Amazon, one about Netflix, and one about Starbucks. So,
well, pick any one you want.
Yeah, I'll use Netflix. So
Okay.
think about Netflix. Back in the day, Blockbusters in the 90s, if you know, was the biggest home DVD and video rental place. I remember as a kid going there on a Friday night and getting a tape and getting a movie. It was a great experience. But, something happened in the late 90s. This thing called the internet came along. And, Blockbuster was that big, arrogant company like you see today. And they were slow to change. They were slow to get on this internet thing. They said, why would somebody sit at home and order DVDs to their house when they can come to the store and get them? They didn't see it. They didn't see it happening. Guess what? Year after year, Netflix just ate away at Blockbuster again and again and again. And we hear now where Blockbuster is gone. Why? Because they didn't integrate technology. They didn't stay with their customers, and they didn't see the change. So once again, that's something that every business owner can use. You have to see the change, and the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking for your company to make that corner to fully integrate and fully embrace digital. And if you don't, you'll end up like Blockbuster. Just a big name that's gone. So once again, no matter what industry you're in, there's some small company right now, there's some startup, there's some kid thinking about a way to disrupt your industry. Don't let that happen. Keep up with technology. Always keep searching. Always keep looking for the next thing. Always be forward thinking, because, that's what you have to do. And even look at where we're at now. Now we're in a time that nobody knew we would be in. But once again, the companies that were forward thinking, the companies that are investing in technology, investing in customer service, those are the companies doing well. So to sum it all up, I'll say, don't be Blockbuster. Keep up with your customers. Do not ignore technology. If you ignore technology, if you bet against technology, if you ignore your customers, you will go out of business.
What do you think, what do you teach your students is one of the reasons why entrepreneurs have a resistance to expanding their comfort zone and embracing technology? They do it a little bit at a time, just enough to have to. It's like they're forced to do it. But why do you think that a lot of entrepreneurs have that resistance to it?
I would say 2 things. One, just the fear of something new. And I always tell people things online aren't new. They're just a different way of communicating. So Facebook is the same as where your mom had friends over and they sat down, they had tea and they had cake and they shared pictures. It's the same thing. So I try to relate that to you already doing these things offline. Just find ways to translate it online. And I would say the next thing is pricing. People have this thought that online is so expensive, and it's actually not. you can actually compete with the big companies. You can compete with the biggest guy in your industry online. Now, running ads on radio or TV or print is very expensive, but online is very affordable. So I think a lot of people have that the wrong way. They think that online is really, expensive, it's not affordable, but that's not the case. It's very affordable, to be online. So I would say this fear of change, and then one, just thinking that it's going to be expensive and a lot of work.
Good. If you could give one idea that someone could use to be in the pay-to-play world of social media, right? Whether they pick LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever the new thing is at the moment, what's one idea that you would say, you know what, if you're going to do this, here's what I suggest that you do, and understand they're probably taking a baby step into this.
Right. If you're talking a baby step, I would say start off looking at Facebook and Instagram. Very affordable. Running ads on Instagram stories, Facebook stories are very affordable as well. And if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on social media, you have to pay at this point because, on average, only 20% of your posts are being seen by your followers. So in order to get that reach, you have to invest that money. And once again, it can be low cost. You can start off running Facebook campaigns for $5 a day, for $100 a month. And from that, you can learn and get traction. So the great thing about advertising social media that it's very affordable, it's very trackable. And once again, you can target your exact customer by their age and their income and where they live and their interests. So that's the thing I love about social media targeting. It's highly targetable. It's not like running an ad in the newspaper where you're talking to everybody. You run an ad on social media, you're talking exactly to your right customer.
You're a speaker. You speak on stages. You also speak virtually. When someone wants to take their brand into this digital space, right? And maybe some of them have to speak for their company, whether it's a webinar, a master class, a Facebook Live that says, hey, here's the thought of the day, or whatever it may be. Maybe they're sharing what's going on in their business. Can you give maybe one or two ideas that someone can think about when they're crafting their message, which has to be in association with their brand? Because they've got to say something. And they're always so worried, like, oh, gosh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Or how should I position it? Do I tell them this is my brand? Do I have to give my brand tagline? I know that's a loaded question because it's a broad question.
Yeah.
But if you could just boil it down and say, okay, you now got to promote online. You've got to say something. Give us one or two ideas they can do, and you can put your speaker hat on with your branding hat, right? So you can bring those two together, man.
Well, I would say one, be yourself. Don't get on stage, don't get on a conference call and try to be somebody else. Be yourself. So if you crack jokes, crack a joke. Be yourself. People relate to that. The next thing I would say is don't be nervous because, people want you to do well. So be comfortable speaking. I would say, too, make sure you relate to your audience. So if you're talking to somebody, if they're accountants, if they're bankers or lawyers, make sure you're speaking their language. That would really help, too. I would say one more tip for speaking is just practice. And that's one thing I found. I spoke hundreds of times, for free and practice and got better and better. And then the more you speak over time, you learn how to refine your message. And I would say, too, like play off your crowd. So, when I speak, I don't have like set slides. I have slides, but they're just like words or images. But I'm playing out the audience. If I'm moving too fast, I slow down. If they look confused, I reiterate what I was saying. I ask a question. So playing off your audience, just not talking at them, but playing off how they respond and how their body language is giving you. I think it's really good to do.
Oh, man, that says a lot. Thanks a lot. Tell them the name of your book once again, my man.
It is Binge-worthy branding.
And where can they find the book? I know it's in pre-order, but where can they go? Yes,
it's available on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and just search Binge-worthy branding, you can find the book there.
That sounds fantastic. Look, we have we have a core belief here, Sterling.
Yes.
One of our core beliefs at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is that today is my January 1st. And for those folks that know what that is, and you've heard those words, today is my January 1st, you can look below the video and you can write those words, today is my January 1st. But those folks that are hearing it for the very first time, today is my January 1st represents one of those moments, and there's thousands of moments throughout the day, where you get to make a decision. And that decision could forever change the trajectory of your life, right? You make a decision that you're going to work out, or you sit on the couch and binge. binge watch on Netflix,
Right.
right? You make a
Right.
decision that you're going to eat healthy that day, or you're going to eat not so healthy.
Yeah.
It's a do-over. It's a restart. It's a
Right.
let's get it going. When you hear those words, Sterling, today is my January 1st. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, that's a powerful question. So, for me, I think it's just getting serious about what you're doing. I look at my own career, and the moment I really put my foot down and said, I'm going to invest in my brand. I'm going to invest in, training and speaking better and getting high quality video and pictures, taking myself really seriously. It didn't happen overnight, but that was a step. So I feel like you have to start somewhere, and whatever that goal is that you have in your head, what you become. Want to become, start today and take those small steps to get there. And for me, it's been an evolution. I've had the same target. I just changed strategy here and there, but the same target. So just start today. And obviously too, really just everything you do, try to do in excellence. So everything I do now, I'm just trying to be the best. I'm trying to be the best speaker. I'm trying to be the best, father and husband. And not the best in the world is great, but the best in my ability. So, God gave me talents. Who am I to sit in those talents? So if I have a gift for speaking, I need to speak. If I can write, I need to be the best writer I can be. So, I think finding your gifting, finding your thing that you do better than anybody, and just putting all your will and your might behind that. And I think when you do that, my own life is testimony. Amazing things can happen for you. Long story here, short story, but I actually hated speakers. For a while, I hated personalities. I said, oh man, they're on stage in their suits, in their airbrush pictures, they're so phony. And now I'm here being a speaker and being a teacher. So it's just funny what can really happen in life. But, really just find your core thing. Find that thing that you like and put everything you have into it. Don't waste money on shoes or clothes. I didn't buy a suit for years. I put all my money into investing in my career, all my money to invest in my brand, and it paid off, and it's still paying off. And it's to the point now where I don't apply for stuff. Jobs come to me, opportunities come to me. Why? Because for years I've been saying the same thing over and over again. I've been showing up on time, and when you call me to get on stage, I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna give it all. So just showing up every time, giving your all. For a while, you might not see the results of that, but trust me, people are seeing you. And, for years, one thing happened now, funny on LinkedIn, people that don't respond, don't leave a message, don't leave a comment on my post, they hit me up. Wow, Sterling, I've been watching you for years on social media. You've been consistent. You've been saying that. Hey, now we have this project. We're going to bring you in. So if you feel like nobody is watching you, somebody is watching you, somebody is seeing you. Just keep doing it. Just don't give up. Just keep pushing. Find that thing and let's put, like I said, all your might behind that one thing.
I love it, man. I love what you're doing. I love how you are making sure you're making a difference in the world. I'm not sure if I told you, but one of the beliefs we have here is in affirmations.
Yes.
And we believe that there's an affirmation everyone should have. There's a manifesto. One of the things that we do here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is we even created and we're sharing our own manifesto, right? And this manifesto is some of our core beliefs that we're doing. And we're on a mission, Sterling, to help 10 million professionals, at least entrepreneurs, over the next 10 years. And we can't do it by ourselves, right? It's going to take everyone to share this, to pay this message forward. And here are a few of our affirmations. I want to get your thoughts on one of them, by the way. But a few of our affirmations are things like, I believe spending quality time with family is non-negotiable. And I'm reminded of a story of a young lady who contacted me a couple of weeks back and said when she pulled this up, and she had downloaded it weeks ago, it was reminded that during this time while she's in her room trying to work on her business, and she has a husband and she has 3 kids, that she needs to spend time with them and not so much time trying to work on doing something different, but spend time with them. One of my favorite is, I believe automation is the key to reclaiming my time. There is a 25th hour, and that 25th hour is using technology and automation. But the one I want to get your thoughts on, if I can, then I'm going to share with everyone. If you want to download this, I'm going to encourage you to get a copy of this, download it, share this with your network, pay it forward. Even, please make sure you share with me what was one of your favorite. But I'm going to get Sterling's thoughts on the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. One of my core beliefs: the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. Before he gives us his thoughts on that, some of you might say, Shay, it looks good. I'm all in. I want to get a copy of this. Here's what you can do. You can just open up your cell phone right now, and you can just text the word manifesto. That's all you have to do. Look, there's no upsell, downsell, cross-sell, and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll stay in the conversation. Yeah, we'll stay connected. But you open up your cell phone, you open up the browser, you type in where you would type a message, you type manifesto, and then up top where you type in a phone number, you type in 202-999-3515. So you're going to text the word manifesto to 202-999-3515 to get the Happy Entrepreneur Manifesto. No cost, no charge, no catch. But you must text the word manifesto, one word, to 202-999-3515. Once you do that, you'll get a text message instantly. Hit the link and just follow the instructions. And tell me, what was one of the manifesto or core values that really resonated most with you? And share this with your network. All right, Sterling, tell us, when you hear those words, the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. What do you hear, my man?
Yeah, I think that's great. It really hits home. I'm reminded of a quote by Kobe Bryant. And, he said that if he was known only as a basketball player, he failed in life. And, I always say that, business is great, being on stage is great, but if I'm not a great father, a great husband, a good son, it doesn't matter. So, I believe in having the whole package. I want to have financial wealth and gains as well, but be a great person and be at peace with myself. So I think that's really important. And, I think too, in business life is transferable. So who you are in your business life should not be different from who you are in your personal life. So I'm always trying to make sure I'm the same person, my business and personal life, make sure I'm doing the same things, the same, encouraging, giving person. And I think that's so important, because at the end of the day, what is money? And look at the world we're in now. I would give any amount of money to have my dad back. But, I can say that I was a great son, that I went out and I saw my dad. I encouraged him. I told him that I loved him. I helped him, supported him, and I'm living out his will in my life now, the things he taught me. So money is great, but there's so much more. And, even now I'm at a place where I think when there's a place where you become really whole and really at peace, you can just see things. And when you can see things, getting money is easy. I tell my wife now, I don't pray for money. I don't pray for houses or cars. I say, God, give me an idea, because if I have ideas, I can buy houses all day. I can buy 1 million window pane suits.
Buy one for me too, by the way, one day. I'll tell you what size I wear. I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, once you have that down, you can just see more. And, like I said earlier, when you stop just chasing everything and you just at peace, you can just see things sometimes that are really clear. So I think it's important. And those things will show up in your bank account. If you're running all around and doing things, but if you're at peace, you can just see things. And, at peace too, there's certain things that I've turned down in the past few years that the old me would have chased. That would have been stressed out. I'd have been running around all hours of the night, but saying no to certain things, just knowing everything's not for me. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Shout out to Eric Heilich that's out there. You got to connect with him. Jan Poley, Robert, so many folks that are tuning in right now. We're going into the rapid fire segment as we're coming down the home stretch. And the question to you, Sterling, is, of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, and I know you had so many along this journey, what's one mentor that you've had or one idea you learned from a mentor that you could just share with us, the audience, that can help us on this journey?
I gotta say my dad. My book is dedicated to my father, and my father was a man of faith. He always told me to keep pushing and have faith in everything I do. So that's one of the biggest things I think that's helped me, just having faith. And being an entrepreneur, you need faith. You need to see what's not there. You need to have dreams and vision and stamina and don't give up. So just that, and then my dad told me too, just to be excellent. Try to be the best at what you do. Not that you're competing with your other person, but be the best, person you can be. So Definitely my dad, taught me so much about business and life.
Yeah, yeah, so very, very, very powerful, man. When you hear the word greatness these days, it means so many things to so many people. What does greatness mean to you?
Yeah, I think every person has their own barometer of greatness. What's great to you, and I mean great to me. So, once again, I think it goes back to knowing yourself and who you are and what are your goals, aspirations, and what's inside of you. And once again, I think greatness, success is when you're doing that. For years struggled with the idea of success, but right now I'm successful. I have a son on the way. I put a book out. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm teaching, I'm speaking, I'm writing, I'm doing my core thing. So I think when you're doing your core thing, that's success. That's greatness.
Yeah, yeah, it means so much. How can folks connect with you? They're watching right now, like, man, I want to stay in this conversation. Where can they go, and how can they best connect with you?
Yeah, there's a few ways. My website, sterlingmckinley.com, or on social media, any platform. If you just search Sterling McKinley, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, all those sites. So my website, sterlingmckinley.com, and then any social media platform, you can find me on there.
Okay, so let's all go. They will go over to sterlingmckinley.com. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go over there. So we've checked the website. We're here at the website. There he is. He's the kind of guy that brings the wow factor. Oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. Oh, there's your brand. Okay, for shows. Oh, this is great. So Ask Sterling the weekly tip. So they can ask you anything they want?
Yes, they can ask me any question. Every week I send out an e-blast. Just kind of digital marketing tips and strategies that you can apply to your business.
That's cool. And I see you have everything they need up top for folks that are event planners and everything else. They can connect with you. There is a book. There is a button here for those that want to buy the book. Tell them the name of the book again, and let's find out if the button even works. Let's see if the button even works. But tell them the name of the book again.
It's called Binge-Worthy Branding.
Oh, here it is right here. Binge-Worthy Branding. Build customer loyalty using AI and personalization like Amazon, Netflix, and Starbucks, no matter what level you are.
Yes.
And I'm so glad you wrote the book, man. I'm so glad that you're here. I certainly appreciate it. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. Thank you so much from the Happy Entrepreneurs for spending time with us. For those folks that are out there, I'm going to ask him to give his closing thoughts, give his closing comments, and he's agreed to do that. Here's what you can do. You can give him a digital applause. Now, how do you give a digital applause? You can hit the share button. You can hit the watch party button. You can pay this message forward to another entrepreneur. Don't hold it back, because your big takeaway could be someone else's big breakthrough, and it's right there. Just hit the share button. When you hit the share button, just put Binge Brand. Is that right? Did I get the title right?
Binge-Worthy Branding.
Binge-Worthy Branding. Hashtag Sterling McKinley. Or you can look right below the video and put thank you, Sterling. We appreciate you, Sterling. Great job, Sterling. One thing we know is that all of you can always make more money. As he talked about, you can make more money, I can make more money, but none of us, Sterling included, can make more time. So he's given us the most precious gift that he has, which is his time. So once again, let me say thank you, Sterling. We appreciate you. Got to have you back, my man. I can't wait to connect with you. Good Morgan State guy, by the way. He went to Morgan State University. I said that 5 times, but that's okay. I want to make sure it's clear. Great alma mater, by the way. So take a moment, if you would, and share your closing thoughts or your closing comments. Once again, thank you, and thank you to the audience. We appreciate you so much. Make sure you hit the like button and continue to follow us.
Closing thoughts. We're living in a unique, challenging time, and look across the landscape now, whether it's, sports, TV, fashion, anything, every industry is being affected by digital marketing. And, it's so imperative that as business owners that you fully embrace digital marketing for what it is. And, I said I have a book coming out, how to use AI power software, but, it's like that book title. AI is not just for the big companies. Technology is not just for the big companies. It's for any company. And these tools are affordable for your business. And times are changing right now. The place we're in now is unprecedented. People's dollars, people's time now has been more valuable. So they're going to do business with the companies that they trust, the companies that are easy to do business with. So your company, I would say, it has to be like social media. It has to be like cell phones. They're always on. They're highly personal. Your brand has to be always on and has to be highly personal, because this economy, that's the only way you're going to stand out. So once again, AI and that software, they're all tools, but even without that, if you're just more personal with your customers, if you pick up the phone when they call, respond to the emails right away, that customer service, that's going to pull them in and have them coming back and back to your brand.
I love it. Thanks a lot for joining once again. Jane
Thank you.
Poley says, thank you so much. Deborah Gardner, she's still out there, says, awesome job, by the way. Dr. Talisha says, love it, by the way. She's watching. Tahana and so many folks, Michelle Washington, all of you who've tuned in, thank you so much for joining the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I want you to know that you're amazing. I want you to know that you're incredible. And I want you to know that today is your January 1st. You're going to crack the code on branding, by the way. Today is your January 1st. You can use AI software to reach your clients. And today is your January 1st. Like your cell phone. I like that. I like your cell phone. It's always on and it's always ready. Highly customized. And so with that being said, my name, for those folks that are curious, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. Live in the moment and make it count. With that being said, God bless. Thanks a lot, Sterling. You're amazing, man. Peace. Looking forward to connecting with you again. And I'll see all of you again real soon. Leave a comment below. Let us know you appreciate the show. Leave a review. We love you. Bye-bye. Gotta go. Peace. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.